Alright, hey, what's going on, guys? So today I have something a little different here that I'm gonna do. It's not different. I think I've done actually one of these. I just never uploaded the video. This is the Extreme Rate controller mod, and it's Extreme Rate controller remapping kit. So what this does is it attaches to the back of my controller, and all the buttons that I have on the back of my controller I can now have, like my trigger right here, I can have back here, so I can be touching the button back here. Instead of me having to take my finger off of here, I can just jump here and do what I need to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get this installed, and you guys, I guess I'll upload the video so you guys can watch the video of this thing being installed. It's not that hard to do, but either way, I'm going to clean up my desk here a little bit. I don't like to make it too clean because I know where everything is the way it is. So let's go ahead and let's start this process. So this is what I got in the kit: the buttons and a few screws. The back, I chose this blue. You can choose whatever color you'd like for this backing. Right, they have all different kind, and they got a little instruction manual right here, and then you got your buttons and the board, okay, the ribbon cable, extra buttons and tools. Okay, don't need the buttons and tools because I got my own tools already. Right, I feel like this camera is out of focus. There we go. All right, now it's back in focus. So let's go ahead and first things first, let's take the controller apart so you guys can see it. You can see it right here on this hand camera. I did fix this controller the other day, so I have a video for that. Not sure when the video will be uploaded because I think I want to edit the video just a little bit, but I'm not sure if I'll edit it at all. But nevertheless, we'll get it done. Okay, and I got those screws out, so let's go ahead and take this thing apart. And this thing sometimes can be a pain to open up, so I am going to actually go inside here and grab this little tool that they have. I don't feel like grabbing one of my tools, but on my messy desk, everything is in arm's reach. So let's go ahead and take the controller all apart. Shouldn't be that hard. And there we go. And as I'm taking one side apart, the other side is locking back in place over and over again. And there we go. Disconnect that. Don't really know what happened there. This plastic looked like it's melted. I don't remember melting it, but it's very possible. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to install these buttons and the board. I don't really know what their actual instructions say for me to, how the instructions are for me to do it. But I am going to do it the way I feel like doing it. Okay. And I'm going to cut off these extra pins because I don't need these extra legs that are on here. I'm looking for my little wire cutter here. It's here somewhere in this mess hidden. So I just bent them a little bit. Just like that, just bend them till they fall off. That's all I'm doing. I'm not going to keep looking for that tool. There we go. That's all off of there now. And I am going to look at how they want me to install this thing. Even though, like I said, I've done it before. So out, in, out, in. Out, in, out, in. Okay. And this board sits just like this. Just like that. And alright, let's look at this thing again. See, I just kind of winged it. I don't really like to follow these instructions. I feel like they actually give me more work. Okay, there goes that. Alright, so I'm going to put these in, and I'm going to put the screws in also, and that way I kind of get something to kind of hold them in there while I'm doing it. That is not the one for it. And I've been wanting to get one of these for a while. It was either this or buy one of the actual controllers. And from the reviews that I've read on those controllers, it wasn't really worth it for me, because everybody was complaining that, you know, the controller would break and so on and so forth, and I'll still have to do more work, you know. So I bought this controller, and it hadn't even been a month yet, and one of the joysticks stopped working, so I just went ahead and replaced that. Because it was it's not that hard. And it was way more affordable for me to just replace it. I mean, I could have returned it to the store, but the local stores here don't really have any controllers. I'm not sure about where you're at or the other states. I just know that here stores don't have any controllers, so it's just a pain. So I just went ahead and just redid the stick, put a new stick on there, and now I got to work on controlling. Back in business. Okay. I am going to be offering this service for anyone that wants to add this kind of mod or any other kind of mods to their controller. Give me 1 minute, guys. Alright, you want to come back here and take a look at it real fast? That way you see how it's working. So here it is, I just reset it.
When you're a business, I know I trust you.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I had just picked up another truck a couple weeks ago, and when I bought it, it had a dent and rust. So I took it to Electro League. They took out the dent, repainted everything and all that. Go get the truck to leave, they cracked my windshield. So I had to, nope, they tried to make it seem like I dropped it off there. So I had to drop the truck off last night. They just fixed the windshield. That's what I'm picking up when I took that car.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. And they didn't even let you know.
No,
like, hey,
they try to play it off. They try to play it off. Talking about, oh, you sure you didn't bring it here like that?
Yeah, they just trying to slip on by you.
They try to tell me, oh, they said we'll pay for half. Like, I didn't bring half the windshield. So,
So I'm back. You know what? There we go. We got a little bit more light. Right? Yeah, well, just a little bit more light. But either way, let's continue on with this. So bottom in, top out. That's what it's looking like. So bottom in, and then the top goes out. I think the hardest thing about this is finding which one of these go where. That's probably the hardest part. And I am gonna actually use the L3 option that they have, so I'm going to solder that on here. because I am going to use that button. I'm going to remap that button because I'd like to use that. Right now I have it set for crouching in Call of Duty Warzone, so I'll be able to use it for jumping, and I'll be able to hold one of the buttons underneath also for holding my breath instead of the thumbstick, because I have a hard time, you know, holding the thumbstick and holding my breath. So there we go. So we pretty much got it all set in there now. As you guys can see, it's there. Just put it up here, see? All right, let's grab this instruction again. Okay. Got that in. Goes underneath the board. Folds a little bit. And the aluminum thing goes up here in this corner. Okay. So this thing. Okay, alright, so I see where L3 and R3 goes, I think. Let's go ahead and see if we can get those located and soldered on. And you don't have to do this. This is the part that, you know, they're saying that you don't have to do. This is, if you want to solder, you can do it. And I think it's this one over here and this one over here, I believe. Let's just double check. I'm just double checking. So right where the yep, so this one, yeah, that's ground. So this one and this one, if you guys can see it. Not sure if you guys probably can't see that on camera, but either way, that's where those have to be remapped to, is those two connections. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pull this out, and I always prefer to desolder the actual I always prefer to desolder the vibrating motor, because it just makes it a little bit easier for me. But this time I'm not going to do that. Nope, that did not stay. Alright, so I'm going to detach this first. seems like it's a little bit easier to do it this way, so I'm going to do it like this first. I'm going to place this down before I connect it, and that way I can kind of pick the board up off the table, off the desk, and make sure that this sits. I need it to sit where it needs to sit. It's not sitting there. I think they do give you some like double-sided tape or something like that. I'm getting this turbo. I'm doing so bad on this right now. I mean, it's not like there's a time limit on it, but I was really trying to make this thing as simple as possible because it's not that hard. Oh, come on. Okay, there we go. I had to take it up off the table because it was just whatever reason I just couldn't get it to stay. I'm going to temporarily use this screw right here just to kind of hold everything together just for a second here. That way this doesn't come loose as I'm soldering these wire here, right? So R3, L3, right? R3 is right here. Yep. Alright, so R3. And let's get some feet on this iron. And let's get some solder on this component. Got some solder on that component and on that via, sorry. And some on this other via over here. And this is my right. And this one is my left. That's my left. Okay. And just to let you guys know, it probably would have been a lot easier if I didn't install the board first. If I would have just if I didn't install the board first and I kind of probably followed the instructions exactly, this thing probably wouldn't have been this difficult, because now I'm having to kind of maneuver this thing into place where if I didn't install the board yet, it would have just been sitting on top and I would have just been able to I think it would have been easier. Put it that way. Okay, so let's go ahead and install the battery and the battery connector. So oh wow. So I didn't even install all this the rest of this stuff inside here. So I'm jumping way ahead of myself. Way ahead of myself. Okay. Yeah, I'm jumping way ahead of myself. I'm ready to close up this thing and I haven't even installed the charging port yet. not getting it to sit where it's supposed to sit right now. Because I jumped so far ahead. There's a light here that I'm supposed to be able to see when I'm programming these controllers or this controller. So let's first see if I can see that light when I go to programming. And here's the final part. What I'm doing now is, that's important. Okay?
Definitely not something that you guys can see.
Alright. So we're done here. Blah blah. But I don't make, you know, how to videos. I make videos showing things that I can do to help you. K1, 2, 3, 4. You don't, if you're not, you know, the guy to button plus the PS4 do this, then for 3 seconds. It's pretty much a video showing you, hey, 3 times and need someone that can do it. Here's that video. And this is probably my worst, not my worst, but this is probably a very, okay. Turn on gamepad connected to the console, 2 ways entering button mapping mode setting. Touch the send. Not as put together video as our light 5 seconds. Blue light will be on and enter the settings. After entering the settings and mode, something is stopping it from closing up properly. And remap any. And I'm trying to figure out what that is. And I think it might just be the cable, the way it sits inside of here. Alright, so I believe that put it right here, right? Alright, so add a maximum 6 additional button maps above all. Okay. So I guess the console, the controller has to be on and connected to the console for this to work. And I do not have my console here, so I guess it's not gonna work right now, which is fine. So what I'll do is, I think it's finished. All I'm gonna do is, when I go home, I'm gonna test it, make sure that everything is working on it, and if everything is working, then I will come back and I'll revisit this video and I'll give you guys my input on it, and let you guys know what I think about it. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video.